May is Older Americans Month. In case you didn't know, 1 million baby boomers make up roughly 1/3 of Connecticut's population. Here to talk about the aging population and changes ahead, we have Rees Gavin, president of the Connecticut Community Care. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, let's talk about the current need for our seniors and maybe some of the challenges that they face here in our state.
I think that there are two almost diametrically opposed sets of needs.
Okay.
One is the fact that older adults want to be very much engaged in their community, and older adults are often really experimenting with things that they wanted to do their whole lives that never had an opportunity to do before, or perhaps there's a certain kind of civic commitment that they always wanted to honor that they couldn't honor before. And so what older adults want is what all the rest of us want. Older adults want to be respected and regarded as a rigorously committed, contributing member of society. So that being said, on the one hand, then there are also older adults who absolutely still want to be considered respected, committed members of society, but who also have needs that have to be fulfilled in order for them to remain comfortably in their home. So on the one hand, you see people wanting to be engaged, wanting to be a part of society, perhaps wanting to do things they never had an opportunity to do before, and at the same time recognize that in some circumstances, people need help in order to be able to live the life of their choice.
When you say need help, what in particular do they need help with?
That is as unique as every single individual.
Okay.
So it could be an individual who perhaps needs help with their meal preparation and cooking and food shopping because of a combination of perhaps functional issues. They are having trouble walking, as an example. They're having trouble carrying groceries. They're having trouble manipulating the dials on the stove. So as a very basic example, someone could, on the one hand, have trouble doing their food preparation.
Okay.
Someone could have, on the other hand, troubles with transportation, not driving anymore, not being able to get to doctor's appointments, not being able to get out to see their friends anymore. And so the range of needs that we see is from very simple issues to far more complicated realities of people who are having challenges with their bathing and their dressing and taking their medication and a whole range of possible combinations.
Keeping some of those challenges in mind, what do lawmakers need to keep in mind as they are addressing some of the health care changes that we're seeing?
That's a wonderful question, and I would say two things. If I had every lawmaker in the state of Connecticut sitting here in front of me right now, there were two things that I would say. One is that we need to keep our eye on the long-term effects of the decisions that we make today. So in other words, if we want to deter for as long as possible, maybe for their whole lives, the need for someone, for example, to go to a skilled nursing facility. If we want to deter that, then we need to have the right community services in place so that the person can stay at home and get the services that they need, often at a much less expense to the government than having people need to go to a skilled nursing facility. And please know that I say that with all respect for the skilled nursing facilities here in Connecticut. Skilled nursing facilities are an incredibly important part of the long-term care system, but they're not for everybody. And we don't want people to have to make that choice because we don't have community choices available. Okay. So I would say that any effort that can be made to increase the quantity and quality of good community services is in the individual's best interest and is in the state and ultimately the nation's best interest as well.
All right, Molly, thank you so much for joining us. We are already out of time. There are so many different things that we could talk about, but we really appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
Well, coming up for you still ahead on Good Day Connecticut, another check of the hot forecast is ahead. Joe Fury is back for us. Stay with us.